It's like, oh, good to be somewhat sticky. I think this is the best card in the deck for me. Okay, firing up 3 tables so far. The Zoom 200 pool is not that loaded so far, so I added a 100 table where I guess someone of the community wrote me that we might meet there today if I'm playing that limit. So let's hope to find that buddy. That ace 10 suited. Sometimes 4-bets, mainly flat. I'm going to 4-bet this time. So, I mean, I can play without bluff 4-bets probably in those positions, but I don't want to. Just saying that on NL200, people usually know my name. They lack the 4-bet bluffs there. The 3-bet bluffs from the big blinds. So against a value-heavy range, it doesn't make sense to have bluffs at all because they are just not showing profit. But yeah, it's a lot of assumptions. And got it through, and adding this one is the next one. Next 4-bet here. Okay, that board, we can play a 2-street game, just going for half pot and then jamming turn on most cards. Or we can just c-bet small. I like the bigger bet a little more with the 10 connectivity, because what is he sitting on? Like either having pockets. Against those, it doesn't make a big difference, but those, like something like ace queen of clubs, are potential floats, and they just hate facing that bigger bet. So I slightly prefer that. I guess the solvers are with me there. And now he might have 4-5, he might have 5-6, he might have ace queen of diamonds, and then there's only one option left. We can like sneak in some checks here, but I think this is the standard jam. King queen of diamonds, nice. Always good to almost call hands here. And to take it down, so that king queen of diamonds, given my sizing plan, is definitely not a call flop and then call jam hand. Let's switch to here. I face a 4-bet this time. Pocket tens, cutoff versus MP, not the dream spot. Folding is allowed in those spots, but he's sized, like, used a very not a very small size, but a somewhat small size. And now those pocket tens, I'm not sure about that guy. He's not too aggressive. It's like, oh, good to be somewhat sticky. I think this is the best card in the deck for me, and that definitely check this one back, allow him to hit a straight or a top pair while playing this here. I went for a c-bet cutoff versus big blind. Now this is a nice overbet spot that king 5 with the diamonds can obviously just use a smaller size as well. Let's just have a look at both. And yeah, we get the fold there. And then those pocket tens here are just invulnerable. So even if like villain is, I don't know, checking with a flush draw or whatever, I don't care. So I prefer betting my jack X on that turn and just slow play my super nuts. Now it's the clearest jam of all times. And yeah. So that pocket jacks up here is very interesting. That 15 BB rejam, we're definitely calling that. I think, and we will only call that. The question is how to play versus that guy out of position there. Seeing the snap fold is great. Running into queens, not that much, but that's okay. Oh, oops. And here we flop nut flush draw on that 8-7. Little small guideline for playing against those. Like playing against those players flatting from the cutoff who mainly sit on medium pockets. Whenever they hit 2 or more sets, so they have 8s and 7s high frequency, I go check only because they just have more nuts relatively than I have, and then I'm just going here in check call mode. Check raising some definitely makes sense as well, but that nut flush draw dominating some of his potential bluffs like random queen 10 of diamonds is definitely one I want to have in my check call. And now trying to check down, sometimes winning, mostly losing versus a random pair or pocket. But no need to bluff that here. Yeah, that's okay. And down here, I did check call, like medium-sized c-bet, big blind versus hijack. Now expecting some overbetting, definitely calling again, and then having a river decision if he decides to keep going. If he checks now, I have a very great spot with lots of big value bets. That not overbet would be now interesting. How good of a player he is. Against some people I can actually put in some exploitative raises here because I just know I'm always ahead and this is mainly just draws. But I don't have like such a strong read to make that happen. I expect random draws that maybe hit that 9 or even a value bet of ace jack. Let's look that up. And it was pretty much what I talked about, that ace 9 of hearts, not really realizing that situation, that he should overbet quite a lot. So people, when they have pocket kings, I'm just saying, they see that and they are scared and then they scroll up, etc. So when they don't do that, he might have king 10, he might have 10 9, he might have ace 10, he might have ace king, and then I'm just winning with my king queen. Up here, facing that 3-bet, I definitely call my ace queen suited. Against that very, very small bet, I can start building a raising range. I will randomize that now, and we randomize just a call to keep my range protected. See in position what happens next. For example, that 10, having plenty of king 10, king queen, king jack, ace king off the flat just on the cutoff. So it will be easy for me to react here. I have plenty of king x. I will start betting the 2 pairs not too often. I will bet most king x. And I will start betting some of the sets that I'm having because they still have, I mean, more nut equity than my ace queen. I have 4 outs, checking back, and then probably going for a river value bet. Any plans for Vegas, the US? Not this year. I thought about it when they announced like start of November, something like that, were their words that they open up. If that was like November 1st, I would have probably gone to Vegas and give it a go. But now it was too stressful to get the perfect flight, because if I go there, I want to play like the main or some kind of event. And that just doesn't, that looks like pocket jack so much. What's the maximum I can get without having a king? I mean, can be some king x as well. But I'm definitely calling my top 2 pair. I have plenty of other stuff I'm folding. I'm folding my weaker 2 pairs. And here, I mean, it's king queen, right? That fits to the king of spades. Queen fits to that very small sizing. I think that was already kind of a read that is not his standard size. But yeah, lots of interesting stuff happening for sure. I let king 7 here. I'm bluffing, 3-bet bluffing this time, and that board is pretty brickish. So I use a little bigger bet to attack his random overcards. Clean my king here. 7 of spades. I mean, having a spade is a little plus on that board, but it's like, I mean, not really having anything. And now it's probably a very, very clear check back and call most river spots if he's not really going crazy. We could talk about a bet here, but I don't really see it. Yeah. That is a very good card for me. Seeing a not big bet would be great. Check. Should be fine. That's lots of time bank being used. And we have a call of pocket 9s. Okay, so he missed a clear value bet on the river, and I'm very sure that he was not thinking about raising on that river. So yeah, that was very, very weird by him. So he's missing all the value in the world from my ace highs. I mean, he has 4-5, 5-6, all the hearts. I have plenty of reasons to catch all kinds of things. He can have king, queen of spades, queen 10 of spades, something like that he just needs to bluff. So if he's not value betting something like pocket 9s and plays that as a check call is a very, very, very weird. I mean, and then the 40-second, I don't know, time bank. Yeah, just... is enough for me to mark him as a passive, probably bad player. Pocket queens against a nitty marked player, buttoners under the gun. I mean, usually it's mainly a 4-bet. I'm just looking up whether this guy is flatting on the button a lot or not. Where is that? Actually somewhere here. Wrong HUD. That's not the HUD I'm usually having, or I had in old times. So would be interesting. If he has quite a flatting range, that means that jacks and tens are not 100% in his 3-betting range. If he has that in his 3-betting range, well, I prefer 4-betting my queens. Now, well, let's just do it anyways. And that is a board where we can mainly use the big sizing. Interesting. Ace king. Well, here a 3x from 84 big blind stack or something like that. Definitely defending my suited ace. And I actually take this one to check raise here. Yeah, I mean, he would be against a likely fishy player. He would raise stronger hands. So he's mainly sitting on, well, either a flush draw or 6s, 7s, 8s that I get to fold on most runouts. And now I'm just probably going all the way. If he has a boat, he has a boat. That's fine. Does the sizing somehow fit? I think that's pretty fine. I can check raise ace 5. I have called all kinds of 3x. And interesting. I mean, I win against something. Check against pocket tens or something like that. So the card is decent. I'm not bluffing this one, even though, well, I mean, what am I bluffing against? Like his ace jack of clubs, I'm losing to that. I don't want to try to bluff him off the river top here. I was hoping for the snap check. Check, I win. Nice to have equity. Pocket sevens. So maybe give him the green tag. It's just a very random catcher that I expect people to fold, or I think against that pool they should fold. And yeah, so I was here thinking about pre-flop, how often I want to 4-bet my queens, what it depends on. I talked about, well, it would be great to know how often he's flatting, right? Is he flatting jacks and tens sometimes? Well, then it's less interesting. Then his 3-betting range is more polarized, which means kings, aces plus bluffs, more or less. But if he has a more linear range, which means aces, kings, well, true. Ace king, ace queen, jacks, tens, this is where it's more worth for me to 4-bet, right? And I was unsure about him, and I went for the 4-bet. He calls that board. I think we are betting a small sizing with a very polarized range, or even checking like pocket jacks or aces, and like build a bigger range that can get it in on the turn easily with something like king queen of clubs, with ace jack, pocket queens, pocket kings. So I go for this here. And he just jams his ace king, which I think is not too bad. Having the king of diamond gives him, well, he has 6 outs pretty much. He blocks aces and kings. He has the extra backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw, and he's unblocking the ace of diamonds that I'm stacking off. So if I'm bluffing ace 10 of diamonds, or I'm maybe sometimes 4-betting even ace queen of diamonds, he's unblocking that he's ahead of and stacking off. So I think he's played like, and he even has 29% equity against my hand here. Is something I would need to look up, but it's not out of this world, I guess. So this was the first hand. Second one was the one I was just talking about. In another situation where I was under the gun, I talked about how I play boards against those cutoff flatters, because when you flat the cutoff against here even 3x, you can only play a few hands. And usually you are very face up. This is why I play 3-bet only from that position. And all those ranges are built around 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s. So when those cards hit, you're smashing. You're smashing the board. But a board like that, people usually don't flat 4s or ace 3 suited. He usually just has 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s. So in his shoes, I love check raising on that board because people still, they just play their hand. They don't understand how their range interacts with the board. And then he bets 7s and I check raise my 10s and just get all the money in a way, or he folds and I have enough bluffs. So now he checks as a probably recreational player with his 84 big blinds. So I'm not too scared. Like, he's just mainly giving up. But that half pot bet, I'm just putting him on 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s. And I'm pretty sure I get that to fold at some point. Maybe my read was off, given that action, that ace 5 and 5, 6 get there and he's still calling. But I'm choosing a hand that still has something going for it. Right? And on that river, well, I think just check folding, probably, maybe check calling is the play. But just something where range interaction makes a lot of sense. I'm just saying, yeah, he's not really protected here. Yeah, let's wrap it up here. See you guys tomorrow at, what is it, 10 a.m. Central European time, I said, and then hopefully have another nice session with lots of fun hands. That's the plan. So see you tomorrow.